Please welcome Ralf Geber, German Federal Ministry of Education and Research.
Hello, my name is Ralf Geber and I represent the German Federal Ministry of Education and Research. It's a pleasure for me to introduce Sonocrete. Sonocrete is a 5-year-old startup company which is striving to reduce carbon emissions from cement production by 30%. It is important to understand that the mere production of cement as a core component of concrete adds at least 8% to the world's entire human-caused carbon dioxide emissions. Sonocrete's clear vision is to help the construction industry to significantly reduce its carbon footprint. This is an important contribution towards reaching our climate goals, one of the major challenges of our times. I am proud to state that the BMBF-funded project Ultra B Pro of Sonocrete has already started setting new standards. Awarding this accolade to Sonocrete could really help tear down concrete walls between the building industry and sustainability on a global scale. Thank you.
Breaking the wall to sustainable concrete. Ricardo, Remus, Sonocrete.
In many situations, we are faced with a choice between a sustainable path and a convenient one. And often opting for sustainability requires more time. For example, our choice of transportation. Switching from a plane to a train usually means investing more time. And this is difficult, especially when this time competes with other activities. I'm sure many of you have kids. I have 3. And for me, it's very difficult to go for more sustainable transportation when that means I cannot bring my kids into the bed. But these struggles between convenience and sustainability isn't just limited to our personal lives. We also find this in the construction industry, and especially in the concrete production. Here, we also see that a more sustainable concrete production requires more time. Concrete and its main ingredient is responsible for 8% of the worldwide man-made CO2 emissions. And we can decrease the carbon footprint of concrete if we decrease the overall amount of cement in the concrete and replace it with other materials, for example, from waste streams. But switching to a more sustainable concrete also means investing more time. And you can see this in many cases when concrete producers are putting extra cement in their concretes to keep up with the production schedule. And this is a problem, since the world is hungry for buildings. And as a result of the population growth, the current global building stock is expected to double by 2060. Bill Gates once put it in simple words and said, "We need to put up another New York City every month until 2060. The magnitude of this challenge is unbelievable. We have a construction sector which is growing around 50% until 2030, on the one hand. On the other hand, we have a concrete industry which seeks for a carbon reduction of 30% in the same time. The critical question we face is, how do we solve this dilemma? And this is where Sonocrete comes in. Our high-power ultrasound mixing system will change the way we produce our concrete. We pioneered the use of ultrasound-induced nucleation to make more sustainable concrete in less time. But we already made a real impact. In a recent project with the Deutsche Bahn, the leading German railway provider, we were able to decrease the carbon footprint of the concrete structure by 30%. And this is just the beginning. Without Sonocrete, this huge carbon reduction would not have been possible in the same time. And right now, we are preparing the installation of our very first Sonocrete device in a concrete plant of one of the biggest European construction companies, with a clear roadmap to equip their other plants as well. Our offer is a technology which embraces sustainability without compromising performance and output. And we aim to scale our impact globally and will save millions of tons of CO2 every year. Thank you for your time.
You still had a minute 30, right? This is fantastic.
Maybe I forgot something.
No. Well, anyway, we have time for questions now. So let's go with the questions. We have the first one here with Frank, and then we will have Stefan. Yes, okay.
What about the cost? How much cost do you add by sonifying this concrete?
If we replace the cement, we usually add no extra cost. We decrease the main and most expensive ingredient of the concrete, and then we usually add no extra cost. The concrete has the same price, lower CO2 footprint, and the same performance.
And what about the durability of the concrete? What are the long-term?
Concretes we produce for a very long time, since 10 years. And up to now, we found no negative impact on the durability or any other long-term property of the concrete. It's still a very durable material made to last.
Thank you. Please, Stefan.
Yes, could you please explain in a little bit more detail how you use the ultrasound to reduce the clinker component? Yeah, what's the technological magic behind it?
Yeah. Cement is a reactive material. It's not drying. If we put cement in water, it's dissolving like sugar in coffee, and then crystals are formed. This process usually takes time, and we do not have this time. This is the reason why we put more and more cement in the concrete to react it faster. And we were able to accelerate this reaction with ultrasound by an ultrasound-induced nucleation. This nucleation is the primary stage of a reaction. And this is the way to decrease the overall amount of cement without negatively affecting the reaction speed.
Thank you. I think we have a question here in the first row, please. Thank you very much for the microphone.
Yeah, maybe building on the question how it really works. I mean, how is ultrasound applied in terms of large-scale systems? In a lab scale, it may work, but how does it work in large-scale systems, and what additional energy do you have to apply for the ultrasound? So does it, in the end, really work large-scale, and how?
Yeah, how it works in a large scale is our secret. Now, we already proved it in a large scale, and we developed a pre-mixing unit to make this possible. And this is why I said we pioneered the use of ultrasound-induced cavitation in an industrial process, which not happened a lot in the past. We invented a pre-mixing device which is able to take a part of the cement and part of the water from the concrete mixing process and sonicate this mixture to create this effect. And after this process, we will mix the concrete as we are used to and enjoy the lower CO2 footprint.
Okay, next and last questions. Please, here in the first row again. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And I mean, for me, cement manufacturing appears a pretty low-tech sector. Yeah. So the big question that comes immediately to my mind is, how are you planning to go to market? Whom do you need to convince? Who will then say, okay, I'll put it wherever it needs to go?
Thank you. Short answer, please.
Oh, short answer. Yes, you are very right. The cement industry is very traditional. There are very innovative companies, and there are very innovative enterprises around the world seeking for low-carbon solutions and knowing that they can make a huge footprint when they reduce their carbon footprint. And with these partners, we are working together.
Thank you very much. The time is over, unfortunately. Thank you.